Fatherhood is the single greatest thing you could do for you know kids being there to influence their decisions, to give them a moral compass, to teach them right and wrong. It's the thing that really motivates me to get things done in life. When I first found out I was going to have a child, or my first child, I was 17. I was living with my girlfriend at the time, and she was a little bit older than me, but we were in love. We made a decision to have a baby, and so I was just like, yeah, I know what this is all about, and so that's what we did. So I scared to death. To sum it up. When the other two, I have three children total. When the other two were born, I was at a different time in my life, completely different situation. I was married to that point, and we had been for about 5 years. He was completely planned for. We had dreamed about him, and it was a lot of praying for him, and we got him here, and it was just this amazing journey. The youngest. She came out of nowhere. We were not expecting her. This was 6 years from our son. She is just amazing, and she's completely stolen my heart. And everybody's jealous because they all think I love her the most. But whatever, I do. This might sound a little silly, but my favorite thing to do is go take them grocery shopping when I go. Just to spend that time with them one-on-one and talk, have that experiences. I get to talk to my son, about like what's going on in his life, and and my daughter, she just get to fill up the grocery cart with whatever they want. And I mentioned earlier that just spending time with them in just seemingly not big deal ways, like going fishing, right? I didn't want to be, have my son 20 years old, and the first time he goes fishing is somebody that takes him from college. But, it is what it is. But I just want to just be there for him. My oldest daughter, she's an athlete, so I really just, like going out playing softball or kick the soccer ball around, anything doing sports with her. I really enjoy. I wish I had more opportunities to do when she was coming up, was just practicing with her on a game. She plays soccer, she still does, and just helping her, with footwork, or not the big moments, but the small moments. I wish I had more opportunities to do that. Oh man, funniest memory of all my kids. I guess the one that's infamous, the hoverboard incident. I was on a hoverboard and back home once, and I was cruising on this thing. I was doing good, and I just so happened to hit a crack in the driveway, and I fell off of this thing. Everybody was laughing. It was funny. I knew she got me on tape. But it was funny, and it was just a really fun moment with my son. His favorite thing is to wrestle. He likes to wrestle. He likes to try to knock me off the king of the hill. My baby girl. Oh man, so many funny moments. Yesterday she said, we were playing, and she said, really sincerely, she looked me in my eyes and was like, "Daddy, can you help me find some business?" And yeah, so she's always saying something. It is never a dull moment with any of those around the house. I know in the Black community that the whole thing is, hey, I take care of my kids and whatever. And to us, that means like, hey, I provide for them. I take care of, their needs financially. But it's not just about that. It's also about being present. Even here, my two kids that live with me, I come home every night. But I try not just to be at home. I try to also be present in their life too. I missed a lot of those moments with my older daughter. I'm in a career that took me out of the state, and so we weren't able to see each other as much. I wasn't there for a lot of those small moments, and sometimes, even though I may get called on the phone, but just being there was different. I wish there was an opportunity to do that over again, to try to be there for some of those times. Every time that you see them in person again, they're a completely different person. They're a completely different person that they were 4 months ago or 6 months ago. I always had to get to know her again. I felt like, because who she was last year wasn't the same. I always said that no matter what, I would always try to be there and be available to my children and see them no matter what, be there for them no matter what. And that's kind of shaped everything that I do as a father. I'm very sensitive to spending time with my children, trying to talk to my children, being there for my children. Just because of that reason, I didn't have that. I would say, like, the best advice for a new father is, number one, hey, always be supportive, never criticize. A quick story, when my son, when he was 5 years old, on one weekend we were talking about what's our favorite color, and he asked me, and I said my favorite color is green, and he said, Dad, my favorite color is pink. And he kind of looked at me like, hey, what's going to be my reaction? And I said, oh, pink. I love pink. I was like, I got a lot of pink clothes, and it's a great color. It's bright. I love it. And he had this sigh of relief. About 3 days later, he and his friends were talking in the living room, and he didn't know I was listening, but he was telling his friends that his favorite color was pink, and that when he said it in class, everybody laughed at him except his dad. And I overheard that, and I went upstairs and just bawled. So they're always listening, so always be supportive no matter what. Try to meet them where they are. Just because you're an athlete in high school or college or whatever, that may not be their lane. And so again, it goes back to the support. Try to, spend time where they want to spend time. So my son, he more into like art and gaming and things like that. So I try to remember that. So I go buy him a coloring book and we do art together. And so just whatever you do, man, just make the time that you have with them the most productive, because it goes fast. I want to leave a legacy of them, for them to know, like, hey, my dad was somebody I could be proud of, who served his country, who were able to provide for his family, and to ensure that we had a good life, and we were able to provide for ourselves.